everybody. Welcome to another episode of Inspiring Conversations. My name is Christine. I'm the administrative assistant to Jen Paulson Consulting, and today I'm super excited to have somebody with me. This is Elizabeth Wood. She is a bakery owner in Birmingham, where me and Jen and Hillary all live, and she's been doing really exciting things, and I'm excited to talk to her about how she got here and what she's doing to help other people. So Elizabeth, would you like to say hello and kind of tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely, and thank you for talking to me today. I was honored that you wanted to. So like Christine said, my name is Elizabeth Wood. I live in Hoover, Alabama. I'm married and I have two sons. They're 9 and 8. And I don't have a baking background. I went to college for biology and chemistry. Very much a science.
Baking background, right?
Right. Well, it's a science, really.
Yeah.
And I do think that everything kind of prepares us for where we end up. But some of my first professional jobs were sales jobs in the pharmaceutical industry. So my life has taken a very drastic turn. But I opened last year a bakery here in Birmingham, and it's a completely grain-free, gluten-free paleo bakery, and that's what I'm doing now.
Well, and we frequent Elizabeth's Bakery all the time because, as I mentioned in interviews before, 2 of my 3 children have severe food allergies, and thankfully nuts and coconut are just fine, so we get to I know. Oh, I can't imagine. But so we love Elizabeth's Bakery, and she really helps people, I feel like, that have issues with conventional bakeries and and all of that. So tell us though, was there an event or something that inspired you to open this bakery? I mean, going from biology and chemistry background to having a paleo bakery, like how did you get there?
Definitely there was an event. It's kind of funny. My husband and I laugh because when we got married, I knew how to make meatloaf, and that was really it. Anything else came from a box. Marinades came from a jar. Breakfast was Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. So I don't have any kind of a food background, but of course when I became a mother, food did start to become more important to me. I wanted my kids to, even if I didn't eat healthy, I wanted them to try foods. I wouldn't eat it myself, but I wanted them to try it. So I started reading labels a little bit more, expanding our horizons a little bit more as far as fruits and vegetables, and making sure every dinner had at least one vegetable on the plate. When my oldest son became about 4, he started complaining of chronic stomach aches. And we just kind of thought it was a kid thing for a while, and maybe he just didn't want to go to school or he wanted attention. But as it became more chronic, we saw doctors and tests were run. We saw pediatric gastroenterologists, and although our pediatrician was great and believed us, every test would come back that there was nothing wrong. And finally, after we did numerous tests at Children's Hospital, the gastroenterologist sat me down and said, he has a nervous stomach, maybe try probiotics. And that was what he sent me away with, which was unacceptable to me.
Yeah.
So as a mother in this day and age, I turned to Google. And
Dr. Google.
I started doing tons of research. I had actually seen a holistic type doctor who had mentioned to me, you really want to look into leaky gut. You need to Google leaky gut. So that was one of the things I started Googling. I started researching, and I started devising this plan in my head of we're going to try this drastic diet. We're going to cut processed foods. We're going to cut glutens and grains and sugars and dairy. And I was scared to tell my husband because I knew he was just going to say, well, what?
The poor husbands, I'm telling you.
So I got my plan together, and I got a book about it, and I had never even heard the word paleo at this point. And I said, it's worth a shot. It's better than just if we don't try this, we could be sending him off to college at 18 years old with a stomach ache.
Yeah.
In reality, we could have tried things. So he was like, okay, you know how they do. If you want to do it. And I said, I'll do all the work. I'll do all the research, and I will go online, and I've already looked, and there are ways that I can bake stuff, and I'll make sure these kids have everything. They won't want for anything. And and I said, but if we do it, the caveat is we all have to do it, because you can't make that big of a change for just one 4-year-old, and then everybody else is still eating Pillsbury crescent rolls.
Yeah.
So we did, and 3 days in, we started seeing improvement in my son. I felt like I was dying from the flu because
that detox. Yes.
Detox. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, it took about a month before I realized that I had not been having migraines. And I was in my 30s, and all the doctors were telling me, this is just your hormones, it's your age, it's just what happens.
Too bad for you.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, we'd be happy to give you lots of different birth control options and hormones. So I began to notice my aches and pains were getting better. So while Isaac was improving, my health was improving. I was getting excited about the time I was spending in the kitchen. Our other son's attention span was getting better. So our whole family was, thriving.
Yes.
So than we had been. And in this time, I started having people say, would you ever consider making more of something and letting our family get some? So I would post pictures online. And I think one of the pivotal moments was I asked my aunt, I said, I'm ordering a bunch of almond flour, which I can see. I'm sure you've probably done this too. I'm ordering a bunch of almond flour. Do you want to split the shipping, and I'll order some for you if you want to make some? And she said, I'd rather just pay you to bake for me. And she meant it. Yeah. And it wasn't like it was like I want to buy this food, right, and I do it myself. I want you to do it. And more and more people started telling me the same thing.
Well, because paleo baking is it is a science. I mean, speaking from experience, it's really hard to get all those ratios right, and you can't just substitute things out like you can with regular baking. Yeah, so it's hard, and it takes a lot of time. The ingredients are very expensive, and so when you have
mess up,
right, it's terrible. It's like heartbreaking.
Yes.
When I'm gonna show everybody a picture of your stuff. I mean, it's beautiful, and you can just tell that you know what you're doing, and I think that's encouraging for people. So I can definitely see why people would be drawn to your stuff.
Well, which still surprises me to this day, because anytime something turns out, I'm like, wow, that was kind of a shot in the dark.
Yes, so me.
So, yeah, I mean, it just kept going and it kept going. And soon I had about 100 families that I was baking for out of my home.
Whoa. How did you do that?
Yeah, I'm so organized. Like, I'm really, really organized.
Yeah.
And I don't like to not be busy. Mm-hmm. I'm not really happy if I'm not busy all the time.
We're so similar.
But I dream about relaxing, but I can't really do it given the chance. So I just thrived on it. And people kept saying, when are you going to open a bakery? You need to open a place. But honestly, like, opening a business was never something I wanted to do. It was never something I dreamed of doing. It overwhelmed me. Mm-hmm. But there was this nagging feeling of, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. And they're not going to do as good of a job as I want. And I don't think I can live with that.
I love it.
So, yeah, I had... my family's so supportive, my husband's so supportive, and I would put it out there, well, what if I did this? And, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was used to being able to handle everything at home, and I knew if I had been in business, I wouldn't be available as much. And
right.
My husband was very much of it's your turn. I, will support you. I understand that I'll have to do more. I can do more. We don't give them as much credit as we should. Of course he can do more.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I guess we'll do it.
Oh, awesome. So what was it like when you first started? I mean, taking that leap.
Yeah, I mean, it took a good, I mean, finding a kitchen was a huge,
Right.
huge deal. And just a complete God thing in my mind. A kitchen within a mile of my house opened up.
Awesome.
And it's literally the midpoint between our house and my kids' school. And people were already, right when they put the for lease sign up, people were jumping on it. And I don't know how the realtors like believed, okay, well, I think her business is going to work. Let's do it. Because I didn't have like a huge plan. I was just like, hey, I think I'm going to open a bakery. That would be fun. But, you know, they gave me the lease, and the landlord was always encouraging and nice. And so once we found the location, that was one of the biggest things. Mm-hmm. And the business side of it, I had a friend who was very encouraging to me at the beginning, and he said, if I believe you can do this, and if you do this, I will help you with, you know, the business stuff, the overwhelming stuff, getting your sales tax stuff set up. And right. I truly believe I wouldn't have done it without somebody to say, I'll handle that.
Yeah, that's a whole different language when you haven't learned about that yet. Yeah.
Yeah. And you just, I mean, I guess you technically could do it all by yourself, but I mean, I thought I was going to die just doing the baking. So I don't think I could have.
Oh my goodness.
So it helped to have that support. And I mean, I had people the whole time we were painting and cleaning, just people I hadn't seen in years on Facebook. Some Facebook friends, you know, you have Facebook acquaintances that you've never really met.
Right.
Think, what can I do? Can I help? Can I paint?
That's
can I bring some coffee? Like, this is awesome. And I just couldn't even believe it. So I feel like I've been supported from all around.
Right. Right. Well, it's so great because you're doing such a service to the people who need it. I mean, for our listeners who are not familiar with the area that we live in, Hoover, which is where her bakery is a suburb of Birmingham. And I mean, there's nothing else like this in Hoover. I mean, there are healthier eating establishments, but there's nothing that focuses specifically on paleo baked goods. And Elizabeth, you've also expanded. I've noticed a lot in the emails. She's doing a lot more lunch and dinner options in a cooler that people can get. And it's just, there's nothing like it in Hoover.
Yeah, we're doing now, I've now hired on a cook who's there almost full-time at this point, and she's taken over the whole meal side of it. We weren't even doing meals in-house when I opened, and she's offering soups and salads and even family meals every week now, which is amazing. We're shipping granola and bread nationwide now, which I kind of joke that every few months I feel like we're opening a new business because it's a new facet.
You keep adding things, yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing Pepper Place, the farmers market, local farmers market.
Oh, you are? Oh, that's
great. We're going to be there, yeah, one Saturday a month. We're going to be there.
Oh, wow.
And we're starting some little pop-up markets at local gyms.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
good.
Like extra stuff, but it's wonderful. And I have amazing employees who take that initiative and say, I'll go do the markets. I want to do it. I love it. And it's good because we all have things that we are better at and we enjoy. And, you know, Rebecca loves farmers markets. I really don't want to go. Like, I don't want to go to the farmers market.
It's intense. Pepper Place is really intense. Pepper Place is, I'm pretty sure it's the largest farmers market in Alabama. It's massive.
Yeah.
So
it's big. Yeah. And I like people, but that's a lot for me. But see, I want to teach classes and I love that.
Yeah.
So, and Rebecca would not ever want to teach a class. So it's good that we're all very open to, no, we're all not good at everything.
Right.
And we just need to embrace the things we are good at because that's what we're going to, you know, thrive at the most and be the happiest at.
Yeah, well, and I love that you're able to recognize that in your employees and you can kind of all work together to support this business. I mean, that's wonderful. And that shows that you do have a lot of business sense, even if you didn't know a lot about business. That works out really well. Well, and I've got to say, you know, as a parent of children with food allergies, I mean, I I can't adequately express the relief that I feel knowing that I can send cupcakes to my daughter's school so that when other parents bring in donuts to celebrate like birthdays, she has a treat that she can have simultaneously. You know, like it is, I mean, it's just, it makes all the difference in the world knowing that she can feel included socially and I'm still nourishing her and not harming her. Because even just with my kids, even just the tiniest amount of gluten, or one of them is specific to all grains, you know, she can't have any grains, even the smallest amount really hurts her a lot. And knowing that there are options like what you're doing is, I mean, it is life-changing for her. You know, she can participate, she can feel included, she can feel a part of the group and still be healthy. And I mean, it's amazing. And I know that my kids are not the only ones who have been helped by what you do. You should talk about the carnival that you did at Halloween. That was just the coolest.
Oh, yes. Well, my son, who was the impetus for us starting the whole business, his birthday is Halloween.
Oh, good.
So Halloween at our house is always a huge, exciting, but also very stressful event because there's trick-or-treating where we have to say no to a lot of things, which is hard enough just for trick-or-treating, but when it's his birthday too, it's hard. So we love to do up Halloween at home, and in years past we've done things like take all the candy but let them pick a toy, or you know, try, or I've gone and bought treats that I felt like were clean enough and we do a trade. But that's only something that we can do in our house, and we've never been able to go to an event and have it be completely safe, free reign,
enjoyable at all.
I don't have to check your bag, you know, when you get home and do a big sorting thing. And since my I have 3 employees now, but at the time my 2 employees, one I met because she was my first customer. Her son had multiple food allergies, and he was the first person I started baking for out of my home. And so they've faced all the same things we have. You know, they're in the same boat. And we knew about the Teal Pumpkin Project, which is something that it's growing, but more and more families are starting to put out.
Will you tell the listeners about what that is?
Yeah, so the Teal Pumpkin Project is to bring awareness to food allergies, and at Halloween, it encourages you to paint a pumpkin teal and put it out on your porch as a way of letting people know, if you stop here, we're going to have non-food treats for kids, so it's going to be safe for food allergies. You won't have to worry about peanuts or anything like that. So at first we thought, well, we could put out a teal pumpkin and maybe during the day let kids come trick or treat. But it just didn't seem like enough. So we started talking, and this is one of the things where I know when I'm not good at something. Susan, who works for me, said, why don't we do a whole carnival, which scared me to death. And she said, you know, all kinds of giving non-food, and I'm just like shrinking into the background as she's talking.
Don't make me.
Yeah, she's like, I'll plan everything. I'll do it all. I love this kind of thing. And I trust her completely. So I said, yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think we should absolutely do it. And it was so funny. We advertised it, and, you know, I thought our loyal customers would come, and maybe some of my like friends in the neighborhood who were going to humor me. And even that day it was going to rain, and Susan started texting me. She's like, it's going to be big. I'm going to tell you that it's going to be bigger than we thought. And I was like, okay. And my husband was even very like, almost pityingly like, oh, I'm sure it's going to be great. But, you know, people showed up in droves. I mean, and they were so excited.
Yes.
And I couldn't believe it. Both of my employees, their whole families came and helped. My family was there. We all worked a booth. I had people tell me they canceled other plans and said, I'm going to go to this instead because it's going to rain later. And this is more important because my kid can do everything at this event.
Yes.
So I'd rather miss trick-or-treating later.
Yeah.
Do this. And I've had parents even contact me and say, if you do it next year, can can I donate money for the prizes? I'm like,
Oh,
no, this is like our gift.
Yeah.
Guys, or please let us, we'd be glad to work a booth. I mean, people took it as a gift.
Yes.
And I was taken aback, but it will certainly be a new annual tradition.
Good. I mean, I brought my 3 kids, and we didn't even go trick-or-treating afterwards because, it was amazing. I mean, my kids could have all of the prizes, and they loved it. I think they did a couple of the things twice, and it was such a relief to go, and it was safe. I mean, and it was so cute, and all the kids were adorable, and they all had fun, and it was a gift. It honestly was, and I do hope you do it every year.
We definitely will. And we've also talked about doing things like having a teal pumpkin painting party.
Oh, yeah.
And that way people can paint their own pumpkins and go home and do the teal pumpkin that night.
Yeah.
Even in your neighborhood, just to help raise more awareness.
That's a great idea. I love that. Well,
Yeah.
what would be a piece of advice that you would give, or encouragement that you would give to someone who maybe is struggling either with food allergies with their children, or who has a dream like you did and is wanting to kind of push forward? I mean, you can pick either one, but or both? Well,
I mean, for both of them, I think that like my favorite piece of advice is just to start now. Like if you thought about a dream for 5 years, but you had started at the beginning, you'd be already 5 years in. And you don't have to do it that day, but do something to move forward on the spectrum. And the same goes with food allergies, food intolerances, or even just wanting to make a healthy change. I'm a big proponent of some people need to do it slowly and some people need to do it cold turkey, and it totally depends on your personality. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. Mm-hmm. But if you start today, you're already having progress tomorrow. If you just start, you can say, just for breakfast this morning, I'm going to do this. Or one of the ways we did it with our kids when we changed our diet was we sat down with them. They were 4 years old. And we said, we explained the reasons why, the healthy choices we want to make. And we said, look, when the pretzels are gone, there are not going to be any more pretzels. So then there's going to be like bananas and there's going to be eggs. And so we did that part slowly.
Yeah.
Partly because I'm cheap and I don't want to waste food, but partly because it was just a huge change.
Yes.
So, and then once we got that done, it was like, okay, now we're going to do breakfast. Every breakfast is going to fit within our new eating plan. And then, lunch and then dinner. And that's how we did it. Some people, it might work better to throw everything away and, start over, and that's totally fine. But the same thing with your dreams. I mean, I have people all the time who tell me, I always have wanted to do this. And, some dreams are huge. I want to write a book one day. I'm not currently doing anything to move myself forward.
Just take your own advice there, Elizabeth.
I know, but I do love to write, and I have done a few blog posts on our website, but I just think starting, even if it's just writing in a journal of maybe this is something I would like to do, or these are plans I would like to have. I just got a new planner actually, and it has every week, what are the most important things I need to do this week, and what's my goal for this month. And I think things like that are good to help. Just move yourself forward along the spectrum into the next thing. But my aunt always says, my husband went to graduate school and we kept putting it off because we were busy and we were new parents. And she said, you were talking about this last year, if you had started last year, you'd be a year into it. It's never going to get easier.
Right.
But the time is going to keep passing. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just jump in.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I'm thinking I'm applying it in my own head about these things that I've been dreaming about, saying, someday I'll do this. And I mean,
right.
What's wrong with today, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. At least one small step.
Yes. No, I love that. Well, how can people get in touch with you or connect with you or order granola from you since you do ship it nationwide?
Yes. Well, the name of my bakery is Consider It Joy Baking. And so our website is consideritjoybaking.com. And we're also on Instagram. We have a Facebook page. So that's how if they wanted to email me, there's a contact button on the website. And that's also where they could order any granola or bread.
Awesome. So is there anything, like any future projects that you have planned that we should be looking out for besides writing a book, obviously?
There's no concrete plans, but I definitely have goals that I would like to see our food in stores, maybe in gyms. I would love for us to have a second location or maybe even a food truck one day. And, yeah. The ultimate, though, for me is I want to start off teaching classes at the bakery, just on the grain-free lifestyle, getting started, even tips for getting your kids excited for eating healthy or trying to diet.
I think that's the big holdup for a lot of people, especially if they have older kids where they're like, my kids are not going to go for this, you know?
Right,
so
right.
That
it's
would
hard.
be great.
And, you know, it's very specific to kids' ages. But yeah, classes and eventually a book.
Yay! Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm so glad that you shared your story with everybody, and I think that you are awesome, and you're really helping so many people and inspiring so many people to kind of use whatever challenges they have and turn something good out of it, you know. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much for this.